Your father was the founder of the Indian Pharmaceutical Alliance, and he fought several battles within and outside India in international fora for the benefit of the pharma industry in India. So some of that combative spirit must have rubbed on at some stage, would you think?
Mhm. Yes, absolutely. And in many ways, I'm following his footsteps because he worked with Pfizer, a multinational, for the first half of his career, and then spent the second half of his career really helping Indian pharma companies gain center stage on the world stage. And in many ways, I spent the first half of my career with multinational companies, and the second half is with the Mahindra Group, and contributing to the Mahindra Group taking the world stage and making us proud as Indians for an Indian company to be able to develop products, to be able to lead various aspects of governance and environment and social across the world.
Honestly, that commonality didn't strike me, that your career in some sense matched what your father did in the pharma industry. You started with Bain. You were there for a couple of years, I think, as senior consultant. 8.5 years in GE in two different spells, including 5 years as the CEO and president in India. In between 2 years at Bankam, I'm trying to understand that, why you went to Bankam, came back to GE, and then 7 years with the Mahindra Group. What are the different kinds of challenges as a consultant, as somebody, as you said, in an entity that is not Indian, and now 7 years in senior positions, rising to the top position in what is an essentially Indian company?
So let me explain Bankam as to how that came in between. I spent my first 9 years at GE, and the person who had hired me had left GE 7 years before I did. And she kept trying to get me to Bank of America every year for those 7 years. And finally, it was a great role, a business that had $2.5 billion of revenue, 80% profit margin, so $2 billion of net profit with a 15% growth rate, and experience in retail banking, an offer that was very difficult to refuse. So I went there and in a couple of years got a call back from GE, essentially saying, your dream role's open. A friend of mine called me at 7 a.m. and said, Anish, your dream role's open. Do you want to come back? And that was heading GE Capital India, because I always wanted to come back to India. And that was a great path to do so. So my quick response was yes. And 10 days later, I had the offer letter in my hand, and soon thereafter came here. So that is where Bank of America came in between. But beyond that, to your question, the set of experiences over the years has been very diverse. From Bain & Company, where I worked across 10 different industries in a short span of less than 3 years, to GE, where I ran marketing, product development for a large GE business, eventually ran a global business across 30 countries, to Bank of America, running a fairly large business for the bank, and then coming back into a very difficult environment where GE Capital India had gone through lots of challenges, and the mandate was really to turn around the business. And that all taught me various different things that prepared me for this role at the Mahindra Group.
Interesting that I was reading somewhere that friend of Anand's told Anand, you got to meet this young man. And Anand said, after hearing about what you've done, I might not have a role for him. And he was told, it doesn't matter, you meet the person. I was reminded of what Ram Charan said in some other context. Find a good person, you get him the role, you can think of. Don't let go of good persons, they're hard to find. And I'm glad that Anand accepted that offer.